back to another episode of Critical Affection, where we affectionately criticize the pop culture that we love. And I'm your host, Sarah, with today Brian and Amanda, as per usual, and a new face. And actually, you know what, Mark? Why don't you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your project that you're here to talk about?
Perfect.
Before we get into the torture.
You know what? We're going to need it because, I think you're going to want to kick me out as soon as we start talking about that. So let's see. My name is Mark Abrigo. I am a comedian and a playwright here in the Bay Area. And at the end of October, I will be finally staging a project that has been in my heart for the last 4 or 5 years now, which is Scared Stiff, which is a short play horror anthology. And will be staged at Bindlestiff Studio in San Francisco. If you're a fan of horror, if you're a fan of theater, we've got some really cool stuff that we can't wait to show the masses. Partly financed by Theater Bay Area. I was awarded a cash grant last December for it, which definitely made things possible. And I think it'll be a great time at the theater, just to go and kind of see what a bunch of sociopathic Asian kids are up to.
The spirit of Birdemic. I think that sounds like a hoot.
I also want to say I'm sorry for what I made you watch. Can I throw that out there now?
I'm guessing.
I have nice things to say too.
Whoever shows up in the comments today probably didn't watch it because that was the right decision.
Let this serve as a warning.
Honestly, I'm not as much as I dislike that whole experience. I'm not sorry that I watched it, and that's
Same,
weird, right? Weird. So the movie that we watched, and this was Mark's suggestion, is called Birdemic.
On free will.
Yeah, like he did it on purpose. I'm not sure why. I was like, he doesn't even know me. He didn't know me, so he couldn't do it because he doesn't like me. He didn't know me.
And if I may, Sarah, to give it the full respect that the movie deserves, it is actually Birdemic : Shock and Terror.
That is true. Shock and terror. And I mean, it was shocking.
And it was terrible.
Yeah, yeah. That's fitting. So yeah, it's a very The Birds. Like, you can tell it took heavy inspiration from The Birds, but excuse me, sir.
It also took heavy inspiration, I'm guessing, from Hamster Dance. If y'all have seen this movie, the CG animation is adorable.
Adorable.
Their attempt is adorable.
Okay.
Their execution is amateur.
So the movie is basically these two characters meet and start a relationship and then get attacked by birds. And like that's basically the movie.
Clumsy rom-com.
That's the whole play, the whole plot. Although calling it a plot is kind of a stretch, really. Like, is that a plot? Like, there wasn't a lot going on in the story there. And I believe that I was like live tweeting, or not live tweeting, but live messaging Amanda and Brian and going, it's 30 minutes into this movie. It is an hour into this. It's halfway through this movie and nothing has happened. So if that gives you any idea of what that movie is. Yeah. So what are opening thoughts, I guess? Opening thoughts about Birdemic : Shock and Terror. You want to start, Mark, since you're the guest today?
Absolutely. I will happy to build this house of cards so that you can kick it over in just a matter of minutes here. Basically, I've got love for my Asian and Asian American artists out there, and James Nguyen, who is from the Bay Area, Vietnamese cat, and he put his heart out there for everybody to see. And this is not his first movie, if you could believe that. I mean, he's been in the game for a minute. He is the master of, I believe, what he calls the romantic thriller. And I would not attribute any of those things to this movie. But he certainly did try, because what I'm more a fan of outside of bad movies is hubris. And that's what this movie is.
Yeah.
And not
He was
just
hoisted
hubris,
on his own petard.
right, and not just hubris, if I may be honest, but hubris with a sense of purpose. Because I'm sure we'll talk about this, but this movie, outside of a terrible ripoff of The Birds, it's a movie that is trying to teach us about the perils of climate change.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah,
mean,
That
was
did not
easy to
go
pick up on.
unnoticed, but not for the good reasons.
and so
Oh.
I love this movie because it teaches me that anything is possible. If he can do Birdemic, then I can do Scared Stiff, and that's where I am.
Absolutely.
17 years later.
Absolutely.
So really,
You know,
it's all because of him.
I feel the same way about that actually, because like I'm sitting here having written or co-written like 4 different stories now, and I'm like, I'm not a creator, I'm not an author. I'm like, after seeing that, you know what? I am.
Yeah. Writers write, Sarah. So if you are a writer, then you're a writer. You just need to write. That's it. That's really what it
I
boils down
do
to.
occasionally do that.
Yes, and James Nguyen is a filmmaker. Oh God. So,
In the barest sense of the word.
absolutely. But I'm curious to hear what everybody else thought.
Yes, Amanda, what do you think?
I think that he made a movie for $10,000 that he earned with his day job and made it over the course of 4 years. And that explains a lot of some of the continuity gaps and issues that we see in it. And so that part is admirable, like committing to the vision, getting it to work, keeping actors going for 4 years on a film. Wow, that's impressive. And I'm super mad because he could have done so much more and made it better than it was. Like he could have spent that extra year maybe editing and polishing, and it would have like really helped a lot. There was something there. It could have been, it was always going to be destined to be more of a cult classic kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Having heard that makes actually answers a lot of the questions that I had. I didn't realize it was made over the course of 4 years with like his, loose couch change and stuff. So like I knew about the $10,000, but I did not know about the 4 years. So that actually answers a few questions I have.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
How about you, Brian?
Yeah, the same. That I knew about the $10,000 before watching the movie, and that helped me set the bar. And I did have this like, I feel like this should be an inspiration to people of like doing a passion project with a shoestring budget is totally doable, and it will happen if you commit to making it happen. But as Amanda said, so many rough edges that really didn't need to be there. Like I've edited audio and video, and my little stutter there, that would need to be cut out. But in Birdemic, they left it in. They left the pauses. The halty conversation was so hard to watch sometimes. So yeah, potential. And hey, if you watch this movie and you have an inspiration, you should do it.
To your point, Brian, if I may, I think the log line to this movie should have been Birdemic, Shock and Terror. We'll fix it in post.
Subtitle is establishing shot.
Oh my god.
Establishing shot.
Oh my god.
More credits. Oh my gosh. Long establishing shot.
Like how much money, how many of the places in Half Moon Bay did they just get to use for free as long as they showed off the place? Like they spent so much time in that Vietnamese restaurant. I was like, yes, the art is beautiful. Now can we get to the story again?
That was a 23-second shot along a mural inside a Vietnamese restaurant in San Jose. That is so much time.
Subline. Permits what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no permits. Apparently
Right.
he got no permits and was like, they were at
I
one
love
point.
guerrilla filmmaking, so that delights me so much.
Guerrilla filmmaking.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
All for that.
I think what I loved the most was just this idea in my head that James Nguyen was sitting there going, I want to establish that the character of Rod, just the paragon of charisma, going to work, We need to show him almost in real time what his commute is.
I watched that and I was like, I think I've been on this road. I think this is the road that winds through the mountains to go to Half Moon Bay. And then 3.5 minutes later, welcome to Half Moon Bay. And I'm like, holy shit, that was too much establishment work because I knew the exact road.
He showed us parked cars. He showed us where he will park. I went, this is a level of dot connecting to a degree that I've never seen in my life, and I'm so thankful for it. I would have no idea that he was going to work if he didn't show me him getting gas, him in traffic, him making a turn, him parking, him getting out of the car, him walking to the front door of the office, and then getting to his office. I would have been lost.
After the tedium of driving in California, though.
And like, are we sure he had a Mustang? Are we positive it was a Mustang? I don't know. The jury's still out.
But don't worry, it was a hybrid Mustang.
Well, of course.
In 2010.
Yeah.
Sarah, your thoughts.
Is it my time for thoughts? I mean, it was a movie. It was a movie. It sure was a movie. I agree that it was never gonna be a blockbuster. It was never gonna be something that we think of as a masterpiece, but it is kind of a study in missed opportunities.
Yeah.
Because there were plenty of them. There were mostly missed opportunities of that, to be quite honest. I'm not the world's greatest critic or anything, but I found a lot. And I'm like, as I was watching this, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, Amanda always finds way more than I do. Like that's odd or wrong or unusual about the movie. I was like, I found so much wrong with it, and I was like, just how did Amanda's head not explode? I was just like, I hope you both have your heads still attached when you're done, because mine is currently not connected to my spinal cord anymore. So, that being said, it does have some redeeming qualities, and like, totally. I can forgive the bad CGI. There was, holy shit, the bad CGI, and like Brian said, the bad. No, you have to go. You're 10,000 degrees, my dude. Huh. The bad CGI I can forgive, but yeah, like the editing. There was a lot of kind of unforgivable errors in the editing, wasn't there? Like there was a scene where the forest was supposed to be on fire, and that was so badly done. Like with them, I get it, but like it was so badly done. And then they cut the CGI before they cut the scene of the forest, and I was like, that was so easy to not do. It was so easy to avoid. So like weird nitpicky stuff like that, alongside the fact that the story writing. Can we call it a story? Is it it's technically a story.
Technically a story.
I mean, they probably existed as words on paper, so it was written.
There's not
a movie.
Yeah, like I can't say that I think there was a cohesive plot of any sort in there. I guess technically, like, there was an outline. Somebody definitely outlined that, but then it kind of feels like, and like I said, the several years, a very small amount of money does very much explain a lot of the problems with this. There was one point at which I was like, the character that plays Natalie, is that the same actress? 4 years between shots could explain that. Because I was like, doesn't look like, for a moment I was like, is that the same actress, or did they just change the actress halfway through? That makes it make sense. So
they pulled a Bewitched on us.
If I may, only because we just brought her up, but Whitney Moore, beautiful Whitney Moore, who plays Natalie in the film, can we agree, at least from an acting perspective, she was head and shoulders above everyone else in terms of, like, she really tried. She was, I mean, God, anytime she was in a scene with Rod, and I make fun of Rod because he's got the personality of like a wet sack of gravel, but like Natalie tried to make this work. And I'm so glad that she's still acting right now. She's still, in the industry. In fact, Brian, I know you are a big Dungeons and Dragons fan.
This is true.
Are you familiar with Critical Role?
I've heard of it, but I mostly watch Dimension 20.
Oh, and D20, of course, is fantastic as well. Brendan Lee Mulligan will be the DM for season 4 of Critical Role.
Yep.
Season 4 of Critical Role features Whitney Moore from Birdemic. She's a cast member. So she's still definitely doing it, and God bless her. She was on Geek and Sundry for a long time, and with you guys having a big like geek presence. In fact, theater-wise, the first few shows I ever produced were called The Geek Show, and so I kind of feel like we're all kind of in this bubble. But she's just fantastic, and I'm just glad that you can have a career after Birdemic.
Yes. Yes.
Which is wild because we were talking about this earlier, but there are 2 sequels that spawned from this, and I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But as far as this movie is concerned, I am shocked that anyone came out of this. And
just so we're clear, I don't want to watch the sequels. I don't.
I don't. Please don't.
That's fair.
Those are
And
bad.
I pulled up number 2, and it was full-on Walker, Texas Ranger style roundhouse kicking birds on the beach.
That's what we watch. Come on. Okay, so I will
if you
agree.
like Birdemic 1, Birdemic 2 is Birdemic 2 more birderer.
2 birds, two furious
Roundhouse kicks.
feathers. I don't know exactly.
So I agree that Natalie's the actress who plays Natalie, Whitney Moore, is that her name? I read all their names, and I couldn't help but notice that a lot of the names of the actors shared last names with a lot of the crew and the other cast members and whatnot. So
Yeah, that's because they made up the
Noted.
crew in order to
Yeah.
make the movie look more legit at the end.
yeah, noted. I thought that the kids, the kids, okay. So Brian, it was Granica. It was a very Granica moment. I was like, these kids do not need to be in this story. Like they're there to humanize the 2 main characters, and yeah, the 2 Rod and Natalie did not have any on-screen chemistry. It was
I blame Rod.
yeah,
Rod
it was
had
I second
Yeah.
that.
no chemistry or
It was
emotion.
fucking creep from the get-go.
Oh yeah, and no ability to emote. Like he just kind of straight said the lines. I will say, in terms of the kids being in the movie, though, that the little girl under the van,
Mhm.
the opening, finding her scene, that was probably the best acting in the movie.
yeah.
She
That's
was
what I was.
actually
Yep,
emoting.
that's exactly what I
And
was
you-
thinking.
you're
Yeah,
actually like, oh, that kid could be scared, and then it, trailed a little, but
yeah.
that's probably more direction than.
Well,
anything.
a child needs lots of direction, and like the 4 years between they did that. They must have done the kid scenes really fast,
Yeah.
and I agree that the little girl under the van went with her meat scene was very well acted for her, and yeah, as a little kid, good job for her.
I mean, if I was
they-
hiding under a car and Rob started grabbing at me, I'd be scared too.
It's like, who is this alien wearing a human suit, and why is he reaching for me right now?
Come on, I will
yes.
save you from the birds. And like,
And,
ah!
You can't even completely blame the actors, because the actors, a great actor doesn't need direction, but these guys, sorry guy who plays Rod, Jay Byrne or whatever his name was, you're not a great actor. You maybe you could be, but you needed direction, and I mean you can tell he didn't get it. He
But as
didn't
Mark
get what he
said, like,
needed.
when somebody was consummate about giving it their all, it shows.
Mm-hmm.
And when if they're phoning it in, it shows just as badly.
Yeah.
And
And then what's that?
Well, the writing of obviously certainly isn't the best foundation for an actor as well.
There's that.
At the very beginning, when Rod meets Natalie and he asks her, hey, didn't we go to high school together? Because I think they went to high school in like San Mateo or something like that. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
didn't we have class together? She goes, oh yeah, that's right. And then literally it cuts for whatever reason to Rod, and he says, so did you grow up around here? And it's like,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What?
established we grew up, or at least went to high school together. So it's little things like that that I can only imagine felt shaky at best when it came to the dramaturgy of this whole thing.
Yeah. And did you notice when he first sees Natalie in the diner, like she is so fucking into that plate of food that she does not eat at all. What was that about? She was just smiling almost and like just cutting and like, Why are you so happy about this? It's just toast.
She is a Victoria's Secret model, as we've come to find out, so she probably can't eat it. She probably just stared at it and ate with her eyes.
She was also probably focusing on the food because the creepy guy was staring at her in the mirror.
Yes, very, very fair. And he
I'm
did,
gonna
like,
get out of here. Oh
yeah.
my.
He leered. He leered. He just
And then
like you.
sprinted
I
after
swear,
her.
for a moment, I saw slobber come out of his mouth. Like that was, if he was
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
be a creep, then he really succeeded in being a creep. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, writing not great, like you said, but also acting. He specifically could have done more with what he had.
Oh,
And he didn't. He just didn't.
It didn't need to be full leering. He could have like kept like glancing up. They could have made it so that it was more of him trying to figure out who she was, but also, you know, she's pretty, rather than just a full serial killer stare at her while she ate.
Chases her out after she leaves. He follows her.
Yeah,
I was like,
no, first
okay,
he
is
has
this
to
the
leer at her
opening
ass as
scene?
she
Yeah.
walks away. Then he goes out, and then he trades business cards with her.
Yeah.
That was hot.
What?
So hot.
I mean, this movie takes place in 2008. What did people do that? I thought we just gave each other our phone numbers. Like, you hand your phone to the person and they type their phone number in. I thought that's what we did then. Speaking of 2008, I did point this out. I cannot get this unstuck from my head. Her mom said she should quit being a model. This is a writing thing. Her mom said she should quit being a model to be a real estate agent. And I know this movie was created over the course of 4 years, and it didn't, if it was written in, 2004 or whatever, it would have been completely different. But like, it took place right after the mortgage bubble burst. And she wants you to be a real estate agent? Nah, girl, you were right to stick with modeling, because that's a better career path than real estate agent in 2008.
Yeah.
But like, I'll forgive that. Like, it was ridiculous to me when I watched it, but I'll forgive it because perhaps that was written long before the bubble burst. Like, it was released, so it was almost certainly written well before that. But they could have, I mean, this movie was so full of bad ADR that they could have just dubbed over it and been, instead of real estate agent, they could have said, bank teller or something, Like, just literally any other job.
Right.
OnlyFans model,
They also
anything.
could have dubbed over several times, like when they were on the beach and you couldn't hear them.
The audio. I mean, I'm an audio.
Like when the
guy
music
myself.
swelled over the freaking dialogue,
What did that girl say as she was dying in the car? I can't tell you.
the friend, right?
Oh, she
Yeah,
says forgive
use-
them.
Forgive them,
Oh,
I think,
okay.
yeah.
Take your
And the
word.
only reason that I know that too is because, captions, which also were garbage, by the way. They were horrible captions. Literally everything about this movie was half-assed, unfortunately.
I mean, choices were made. And that's why I'm sure not all of this can be attributed to just incompetence or a lack of attention to detail. But I mean, we're talking about stuff like, when these birds are attacking, you have what I'm guessing, because it was low res, like these birds, falcons, hawks, but they sound like seagulls, and they're dive bombing and then exploding. Like, these are choices.
And they have acid blood.
Which is why
It's puke, right?
Yes, I mean, and then the 4 years of the, I mean, you had mentioned like the 4 years of this, and the first thing I thought is, did he not have a friend in 4 years who could have just gone, James, maybe not, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey,
They're
we
playing
were
the
wondering
bald
about the
eagles and playing hawk
explosions.
sounds, which
Yeah,
is
they
forgivable
said-
because that's something people get wrong a lot. But why do they have xenomorph blood?
Because
And-
climate change made them toxic.
Yeah, and like some of the birds were dead from the bird flu, which, how that aged. Wow. But then some of the other birds were like crazy from it, or maybe they weren't infected and they were just mad. Like, it was never really even suggested why they were doing the attacking the people.
All right. Do you want my hot take for that?
Yes, I do.
All right. I think that he the two birds that we saw most frequently were eagles and vultures. And I think that he was trying for like American Eagle kind of vibe, where the Eagles are trying to save the country, and they went after gas stations, they went after people in cars, they were trying to stop climate change. So they were going after any humans that were involved in climate change, and that's why they were attacking and how they were attacking. And then at the end, in theory, there's like doves that show up. And so they ride off into the sunset together, giving humanity one more chance to stop being dickheads about climate change and save the earth.
Yeah, 2 more chances at least.
Right. But yeah, I think that it's supposed to,
They do allude to the fact that the birds are attacking because they were attacking people in cars, they were attacking people at gas stations, these polluty places, but they didn't attack the guy, the hobo who lived in the woods. They didn't attack him because he didn't pollute stuff. He was protecting the trees, and he was not at all concerned about being attacked by birds, which was foolish of him, in my opinion. But
both of the tree huggers were that way. The one that was out on the beach is like, oh, the blackbirds won't hurt me. Yeah, it's not the blackbirds you got to worry about, bud.
And he was like standing right there looking at all the dead birds while saying, no, don't come over here. The birds are contaminated. It's like, but you're standing there.
But he had a mask on, so it was okay.
Oh, okay.
Amanda, I love the theory, and I think you're there. I think it's 99% there. The only pushback I'd have with this is that Rod, didn't he sell solar panels?
Right. But
so
he was,
he was driving a driving a hybrid.
They did
not when he was driving that gas guzzling van.
Oh,
yeah.
Like the birds don't know that he was a solar panel entrepreneur. Which, to be fair, solar panels when they're being produced are pretty polluty, but once you have them, then you're doing better. But like you got to make them first, and that does cost some fossil fuels. So
and he had just started in that. Before that, he was at the company that made all that money.
It was bought up by Oracle, and I'm sure they got full permission from Oracle to name drop like that too.
Right.
Sure.
Oh, Salesforce got a mention in there too, and yeah, I was like, "Whoo,
amazing!"
And that is not how options work, and that's not a realistic like. How many salespeople do you know are like, oh, yeah, totally cool. We're about to close this deal. And I'll just knock 50% off. And now it'll be a $1 million deal. What?
Yeah, no, that doesn't work.
He would have gotten fired for that, not promoted.
Well, when they announced that they had gotten acquired, then we inexplicably, there's like, and I want to say it's like 2 minutes. It's probably not that. It probably felt like 2 minutes. But just the reactions of all of them.
Yes.
They're high-fiving.
Going around the table. Oh my god.
All the clapping.
And then they stop clapping. Then they're clapping again.
Absolutely insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Choices were made. And
Choices
I
were
cannot,
absolutely
for the life of me, explain why that happened. I mean, there's a whole mishmash of things, and then, you've got the action movie portion of this.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I ask, in fact, I think I did this with you, Amanda, I showed you, the very first thing I showed you was the horrifying action scene of them coming out of the hotel and fighting these birds with coat hangers.
Right? The closet rod was white there. Why would they take the hangers and not a big stick to hit them with?
That they didn't care about destroying the hotel room. And that was the thing. I was like, why did they go to a hotel room to have their sexy night? Why did they not go to Rod's house? We saw the inside of Rod's house, like... And then I was like, oh, they destroyed, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like probably somebody was like, you can't film a sex scene in this house, though.
They went to Cameron's pub and inn, and so they were just so into each other, they went to the inn part of the pub. So they would just zipped around the corner to Sexy Times, which conveniently looked like the Sexy Times her friend was having, but it had Imagine Peace up on the wall.
Yeah, no, that was her apartment.
Her apartment? Really?
I think it was supposed to be.
I thought it was her office, and they were just really, really permissive.
I thought she was like a real, like she was the Imagine Peace, like real super hippie or whatever they want, but they didn't do a very good job. Like, we don't know anything about her either. We didn't know anything about her or her boyfriend, who was somehow inexplicably Rod's buddy. And
I have the kooky friend in a rom-com.
Oh,
well, I guess. And like there were so many things that could have, like, they had other furniture that could have been weapons, like better weapons. And just, you're clearly, you don't care about stealing or damaging this hotel room. Just tear some stuff off the wall, man. So let's hit the birds with
and
hangers.
this is probably only me, but as soon as the bird was hitting the window and they decided to put the bed up against it, they should have tilted the bed up so it fully covered the window. They had the top like 25% of that window ready for a bird to smash through and kill them.
Yeah. And then he's like, that should hold it. And I was like, no, Rod, have you ever seen a fucking bird in your life? That will not hold it. That will absolutely not hold it. Oh. And then
Birds, Rod, the birds!
there was the birds were just, they weren't attacking at all when they were afraid of the birds busting through the window. They were just hovering in front of the window.
What were they doing at that point that was so damaging to the...
smack the window.
Yeah, okay, yeah, they didn't show it, but yeah, we heard it, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then they run to the other, for some reason, they run to another hotel room that has another young couple in it, because why not?
They were friends.
And they're, at one point, so Rod just suddenly can't find the keys to his car, so they can't run away. They can't take the hybrid that the birds would be more permissive of, because he just doesn't know where his keys are. What were you gonna do if there was no bird attack, you moron? You just lost your fucking keys?
If I had to guess, he'd be hanging out with the family and having himself a party. Greatest soundtrack.
I almost forgot about all that.
How could you? It's the best part of the movie.
That was like they needed royalty-free music, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, speaking of royalty-free music, was it the scene where they are selling they were talking about the sale of the company to Oracle? The same, like, 10-second chunk of the same song was played like 3 times in rapid succession. I was like, what are you doing? That was so, like, the first time it happened, like, when they played that thing for the second time, I was like, was that the same one? And then the third time, I was like, oh yeah, that was the same one. There's so much royalty-free music out there, and you probably could have hired a composer for pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I hired somebody to write a whole ass song for one comic for like $100. Surely he could have spared a little bit of money to write a couple songs for him. And we saw that the music came from what appeared to be a website that just sells music, which fine, but if you were going to pay for a subscription anyway, you could have used more than one song. I'm just saying.
No, understood. Absolutely. The movie is so exasperating because,
yeah.
And I know it's so easy, especially as critics, whether, professional or otherwise, but, I understand that it can be kind of douchey sometimes. We're like, well, I could have done better.
Right.
I legitimately think all of us could have done better in whatever we would have tried to improve. Writing, the acting. Like, Sarah, I think you and we could have done the diner scene at the beginning flawlessly compared to what actually came out. And we would have had that same Russian waitress who clearly, like, messed up her line, and they ADR'd an even worse line that sounded more horrible and did it anyway. Like, I think we could have done that whole thing together.
And when the waitress walks up to his table and they shoot the camera straight up her nose, don't fucking do that. Ever.
I know, could you, like, she's never gonna get a job again, and it's all the camera guy's fault. Because now they know what the inside of her nostrils look like.
To be fair, I don't think there was a single good wide to close shot transition. They were all rough.
And I've made a grand total of like 1 film in my life, and it was a still frame, like trying to pretend to be a black and white no talkie movie, and it was like 30 seconds long, and I feel like, yeah, I could. That's better. That was better than what I just watched yesterday. Oh god.
So who wants to make a movie?
I know, right? I was like, I could totally do better than it was so bad that I was compelled to rewrite this and add in the shit that should have been there. Like, is that how people write? Is that how you become a creator?
I think you're on the right track. I mean, I was joking earlier when I said that this movie inspired me to create, and I'm not saying this as a dig on James Nguyen. I actually am thankful for guys like James Nguyen because it does show me that, like, look, if you can get enough if you can scratch up enough money to get something made, if you've got a good idea and you can run with it, just do it, because he's infinitely more famous than I'll ever be. And just the fact, and he went on to do bigger movies and what I mean. Granted, it was sequels to Birdemic, but the fact that he got to do them, I mean, it really starts with just one. And he'd made a few films again before this. I think in between some of the sequels, he did a sci-fi movie, which I have yet to check out, because him and sci-fi, I can only imagine, has to do with like replicants. So I'm like, did you just rip off Blade Runner?
Did he make Velocipaster?
No,
oh my God! Did he make? Aww.
But yeah, like I just
Blade
feel
Runner.
like if you are a creator, just go out and create, right? And I feel like
absolutely.
he did it. He did it.
Yeah,
And
again, not to yuck on someone going out and doing the thing and making the thing and trying, but with affection, there's some problems.
He maybe could have stood to have like just hire an editor, like just again. You can find people who will do this for a low amount of money. Maybe it's not what he needed, but it would have been better than what happened. And just have somebody point out all the inconsistencies in just like at the script level. There were problems all the way back to the script level. And like that's why I can say that there was a plot in only the most technical of terms, because the story wasn't really there. Like I said, we got halfway through the story before any actual conflict happened. We saw some dead birds on the beach, but like that's not weird. There's dead birds on the beach all the time. That's not a plot. That's not the beginning of the conflict of the movie. The central conflict is that the birds are attacking, and we got halfway through the movie before anything happened.
I would have very much liked if they would have cut the establishing shots down.
Right.
Maybe just cut out the part about her mom altogether, and then expanded on once they get to the van and they're going someplace, they should have a scene explaining where they're going and why. Because they just seem to meander around and buy water 4 times in one day, and stop at a creek to get more water. So
what was that? Yeah, and like, don't drink the creek water.
No.
I was
don't
totally
drink
expecting
that.
to cut to up scene, like there's a dead bird in there, and one of the kids goes nuts
Yeah.
and like bites their faces off.
Yeah,
Nope,
they make a
every
point
time.
of saying that the birds scratched or bit them, and I was like, oh, this is gonna later, right? Like they're gonna go crazy and they're bird people now, and nothing ever happened.
Chekhov's bird.
do we
scratch.
have any sense of how long they were on the highway? Because the first one, convenience store they stopped at, was abandoned. The second one they go to, the guy's there, but he's like, oh, well, the phone lines are down because of the birds and the gas prices are up because of the birds. So the birds have been doing their thing for a bit. So, like, was it another day?
Yeah, but we
a
never
week?
saw a nighttime to happen. Yeah, that's what I thought too, because I was like, y'all took from that abandoned place, you took an entire case of water. You did, if you went through all that water for 4 people, okay, there were 6 people at one time, and then Becky just fucking disappeared, and then she was back, and then she was like, a bird just like swooped by her and like slit her throat, and she was
They got
dead.
really good at that. They did that to 2 people.
They did, yeah. And the guy who tried to he put a gun in he put a gun in Rod's face and said, you're gonna sell some gas to me. You've already gotten to the point where you are holding somebody up with a deadly weapon and you want to buy the gas at this point?
Buy the gas.
civilization hasn't completely,
right,
Right.
because that was the biggest problem with that interaction, right?
I just wanted to point something out because we were talking about the kids, and let's see, just very quickly, I'm reading a comment on like a YouTube video that was one of the Birdemic.
Don't
I didn't
do
realize
that.
it. I didn't. What's that?
You
I
read
said,
the
don't do
comments?
that.
Dangerous territory.
Well, so this is actually really funny because again, I saw the sequels, didn't give them a lot of attention. But this might be one of the funniest things I've read, and I had no idea. At the second version from 3 years ago on this Birdemic video on YouTube says, one of the most hilarious things in the sequel, yes, there's a sequel, is that they brought back every character, which I can attest to. They brought back every character except the little girl, and the protagonist of the sequel just casually says that she caught an illness from the fish that they cooked and then died. So in case you were wondering what happened to that little girl in the Birdemic sequel,
they could have done nothing, and they chose to kill her off screen.
Killed her off because she ate the fish and seaweed.
Yeah, so
I mean,
I'm sure
a lesson.
company
But I have-
It says this tastes bad and I don't want it. They should not be allowed to. They shouldn't have to eat it. Let them eat candy forever and always.
Right.
the
That's the
fact
lesson.
that their big go-to was, I'll catch some fish, you collect some seaweed. These like two white people who probably have never foraged in their entire life are gonna get the good stuff and know how to cook it, which was demonstrated when he just chucked the whole thing in the pan. Like, dude,
You gotta take the guts out of the fish before
Gotta-
you cook it.
100%. And then there was no seasoning, which, understandable. And they were white, so it's probably okay. But still, like, you could have done better for the food
Like I should be
options.
offended
Yeah,
here.
and the fact, like, when they do the pan of the beach that they're gonna collect seaweed on, the only thing I saw was that red seaweed, and I'm pretty sure that's toxic to at least a mild degree. So, like, that would have been a bad one for them to choose. Yet that's what she collected.
Well, it looked like they had Laver and Nora.
There were
to
much
do that,
bigger
but
problems. Yeah, there were much bigger problems with this movie. But
Yeah.
speaking of the kids, there is a cut scene which to me seemed more like a blooper scene than an actual deleted scene. But it's where the kid, the camera's on the little boy, and the little boy and the little girl, but it's focused on the little boy, and we hear off screen the two men in the front seat talking about the women had to go do their business or whatever he said, and then the little boy goes, "She's got to take a shit," and then I was like, that was the best line in the whole movie, and then they took it away from and then he just starts giggling. Just both kids start giggling maniacally. It was so fucking funny, and it was so authentic and adorable. And they cut that, but they gave the exact same line to the adult dude who should know better than to describe the actions of his girlfriend / wife
she's gonna take
by
a shit.
saying she's got to take a shit. Like, if my boyfriend did that to a person he just met, like said that of me, I'm generally a very open and kind of gross person myself, but if I caught him saying that, I would be so furious.
Yeah.
And no, that's not. You just say she had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and especially since it's inaccurate, because I've been with my partner for 10 years now, and she has told me, and it's true, women don't take shits, right? Like, we've lived together for 10 years. She's never done that ever.
Oh man,
Right?
you gotta meet my sister.
Wait, hold on. Is my world torn asunder here? Do you guys fart too? Who knows? Maybe my friend will tell me that.
Oh no, that's just a myth. Women don't fart.
Okay, fair. But
I
yeah,
definitely don't fart. But yeah, and poor Becky, she doesn't even get to take her shit because the eagle slashes her throat before she even gets a good squat on. She didn't even pull her pants down.
no.
And how bad does Natalie suck at keeping watch?
Right?
And also, why the fuck did they walk away? Just go around the back of the van. Holy shit, what are you doing? Going a half a mile away into some grass to take a crap. What are you doing? I don't.
Why were they eating outside twice?
Yes, in the wide open, they had sandwich. They had perfect. The food was perfectly fine to eat in the van where it was much safer, and they chose to stomp away for several hundred yards away from their van into a picnic area and sit at in the open.
Yeah. Well, these birds were murderous, but they're not rude. They were hoping, right?
Although,
oh,
from his point, or maybe they knew about the birds going after gas guzzlers and stuff. So well, if we're not near the car, maybe we'll be safe.
I sort of wondered if now that I know the little girl died, it's not as accurate. But at the time, I was like, so the birds flew off after they had the fish and seaweed there. So maybe they thought it was an offering, and that's why. And so that little girl is gonna come back to the beach every year and make sure there's fish and seaweed, so that the birds never come back.
You're
Oh,
thinking way too much about this, Amanda.
that was
I had to think about it a lot.
Gotcha.
there. There was just no reason to kill that little girl off between the movies. What was the point of that?
They just couldn't
So
get her
that
back.
tells me that the writer, which I'm assuming is James Nguyen, was if I do a sequel, I've got to account for literally everyone, and because everyone from the first movie, that's someone's favorite character. So if I have to talk about this little girl, we have to give someone a noble death. And I'm like, it wasn't noble if you killed her off due to food poisoning.
Right?
From them, it wasn't even a bird. It wasn't even a bird. They just improperly cooked the fish, and she died.
Yeah, that's a bullshit death. And the other dude, Becky's significant other, I don't even remember his name. It was Randy or something. He got puked on and he died. He got puked on by radioactive or acidic bird barf.
Xenomorph blood is Brian.
Yeah, and he died. And so did everybody else that they tried to save on that bus.
Yep.
And they were begging the guy not to make them leave the bus. They were so much safer on that bus.
Why didn't they take the bus?
Okay, I will
Exactly.
say the bus had a lot of windows, and the birds were clearly going to knock through the windows, as previously shown in other things. And those people were walking so fucking slow. Why were they not running, sprinting to the van?
Or to one of the many buildings that were behind them that could have easily
Okay.
been barricaded.
Absolutely, everyone should have barricaded into a building and into a room where there's like no birds, no windows, no skylights. Like, there's not a lot of chimneys around here, so you're pretty good once you get away from windows.
And there's probably not a lot of basements in California either. Because I'm sitting here going, well, I'm from Wisconsin and we have basements every fucking. You don't live in a house without a basement because there's tornadoes here.
Right?
And there's
What are your storm
permafrost
setup?
here. Or not permafrost, but like, the hard frost in the wintertime. And you gotta get deep into the ground to put your foundation in, or else your house is gonna be floating in spring. And so it didn't occur to me then, but like I was like, why didn't they just go into the basement and then just like lock the doors? And as long as there was a fresh water source, which you can't tell me that the plumbing failed in a day. So there was fresh water source, yet somehow they were drinking from the stream. There's a lot of unanswered questions, like why did the characters do what they did? And you can't even speculate in a reasonable way. You have to get ridiculous with it because there's not really a reasonable a plausible explanation for it, Am I like if you guys are watching now or later, like I'd like for you to comment and tell me if any of what we're saying is making you want to watch this movie.
I
I'm
will
dying
say-
to know.
I will say this: if you haven't seen this movie, if you go on YouTube and just type in Birdemic full movie, you will find that the folks of Riff Tracks, formerly of Mystery Science Theater 3000, have their cut of the movie on. So the first time I ever watched the movie, it was with the MST3K guys making fun of it. So maybe I was actually like, I jumped into the deep end, but I had floaties on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Amanda and Brian, if you two watched it, and Sarah, if you three watched it without any of that and just jumped in, I have no idea what that's like. So
Oh, you didn't rewatch it?
was that?
You didn't rewatch it vanilla to see?
Oh no! Once I saw it with the Rift Tracks, I mean that's all I'll ever watch it. With. But every time, because I would not subject anybody to watch the whole thing without it, and yet you guys did. So thank you for your service.
That's kind of what I advise people for Rocky Horror. Like, go to the theater, be immersive. Don't just watch it at home.
Yeah, you told me. I've never seen Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
And so Amanda was like, "Do not watch it by yourself," or like The Goonies.
So-
I've never seen The Goonies before, and I've been told it's different if you're an adult and you've never seen The Goonies before. You kind of needed to watch it as a kid. And so I don't know if I'm ever going to watch it because I don't want to hate it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had that conversation several months ago because we actually did talk about the Goonies. It was the beginning of the year, right? The first half of the year. And I did say I watched it as a kid and I was afraid of it for many years. And like as an adult, I didn't want to watch it again because I was like, I was scared of it as a kid. Why would I want to watch it now? And it's not the same movie that I remember when I was, 5.
Fair.
And that's any movie though. Any movie is a product of its time, and the best way to appreciate it is by watching it when it comes out. And you're never gonna have the same appreciation for a movie 10 years, 15 years after it comes out. But this movie, I don't know if I would have had any appreciation for it in 2008 either. I mean, like, again, weirdly, not sorry that I watched it. we were just like, I could have spent that hour and a half doing something else, like anything. But
Fair.
also, yeah, like the next day, I'm like, I kind of, I should hate it. I should hate how bad it is. It's a bad movie, but I don't hate it. It's weird, right?
And it has that very positive, like, climate change. We need to fix things, give peace a chance. Those are the two big social things getting pushed. So
Yeah,
like,
it was a little cheesy in that, like, it almost
Oh,
felt
it
like
was
they
not
were
fucking
making fun
subtle.
of the give peace a chance thing, but I feel very confident that if you're paying attention to the movie while you're watching it, you're gonna be like, that was their earnest message. They were genuinely trying. They just sucked at it. They just biffed it hard. But yeah, they tried.
And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this movie, because again, I wouldn't want to force us to talk about this any longer if we don't have to. But the fact of the matter is, James had a great intention. He did what he could with the things that he had, and even though he failed spectacularly at it, there's a charm. There's a charm to it that I think maybe a Velocipaster or a Lamageddon, as I mentioned kind of before we started recording, and Kung Fury, I think that these are movies that were made to be intentionally bad, right? And there's something to be said about this very earnest, very authentic effort that makes me go, you know what? This was objectively terrible. But I can't say, like you, Sarah, I can't say I hated it. I mean, I've seen it multiple times, granted, with the rip tracks, but it's such a great exercise in, if you think you can't do something, you're wrong. And that's really what it boils down to for me.
Yeah, and like I said before, if nothing else, it makes me want to write some more so that I can make that story better. Because I'm like, I feel like I can rewrite this and do a better job. Like we could do this. So any other final thoughts? We were kind of throwing in some closing thoughts there. So let's just do that now, because it's quiz time.
Quiz time? What is that?
Quiz time, baby.
The Birdemic quiz at the end. I mentioned this, but you may not have remembered.
Oh, okay. No, I remember now. Okay. But yeah, closing thoughts.
It was a movie. It was most definitely a movie, in a very technical way.
If you're the kind of person who watched CKY and were like, I should do a video about my passion, watch this movie and then go, fuck, if this is what becomes a cult classic, I need to do my own shit starting right now. And then you should do it.
If you want to watch a bad movie, this is a bad movie to watch. But you really have to mean it. We are not joking.
Yes. I have a whole new appreciation for what the term bad movie means now that I did not have yesterday at this time.
Wonderful. I'm glad I could help.
Yeah. It was really interesting how it really was like half a truly terrible romantic movie and then suddenly became half a somewhat thriller movie.
Look at you, sunshine.
And I guess with me, we'll end on a positive note.
Yeah.
I'll say
Mine
this.
was positive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry. But let's see. I mentioned this earlier, as an artist in the Bay Area, Asian American young man, James Nguyen, I'm looking right in the camera. Thank you, my dude. Thank you very much. So, I'll say that.
Good closing thought.
So Amanda wrote the quiz today.
Yeah.
And it's I see, that's another one. I'm kind of excited because I get to play the quiz again. I'm usually the one that writes the quiz, and this is 2 weeks in a row now, I think, right? Yeah, I haven't written the quiz. The only person who sees the quiz is the person who wrote it. Amanda, you might need help. Because you haven't shared screen before on here, have you?
Correct. I have.
Oh, you figured it out. I see it. Okay, can you go up and find there's a link somewhere that says, or the gearbox to just turn off that music.
Oh yeah, I muted it. It's still coming through?
Yeah. Fun times.
Gross.
There. Yeah.
Gross.
That was, yeah.
Okay.
Does it, I can't remember, does it still make that obnoxious fanfare sound when they announce the winner? I can't remember.
Don't know.
No
It doesn't
idea.
matter. Anyway, everybody go to that. Either use your phone and scan that code there, that QR code, or go to play.lookit.com, and then it'll prompt you to enter the game ID, and that's 176165. That's that number up there.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, you get to play too.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
get in here, Mark.
Yeah,
Really?
only person
You're
who
the
doesn't get to
expert. You've seen it
play.
multiple times.
Yeah, the only person who can't play is the person who wrote the quiz.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, if you're listening to this live, join us at play.lookit.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, and
Great.
before, yeah, so the winner gets this spectacularly horrible Birdemic sticker.
Scared me. Thought it was coming right for me.
Right? Yeah, it's so real
no,
looking,
no,
right? Normal. So I've been kind of slacking on the, because I've been super busy and no time lately. So I've kind of been half-assing the stickers, and then like, was it last week? I didn't draw one because I didn't know what to draw, and then I thought of something like 10 minutes before the show started, and then the one before that I forgot to upload it. That's what it was. Yeah, I was like, I have it. Why didn't I bring it? I forgot to upload it. But this week, I thought I'm gonna put as much effort into this as the filmmaker did. But that seems mean, because it seems like he definitely put some effort into this.
Put a lot of
So
effort in. I really want to know how the special effects were done, because it's giving me GeoCities in like a good way, and I'm so curious how that it was technically done.
yeah. And like, where did somebody draw those birds for them? Because they look like some kind of strange mix of an actual photograph and artwork. Like,
I wager it's another case of looking for royalty-free or very inexpensive digitally looped assets.
Yes.
And you're like, well, copy-paste, motherfucker.
100%.
Here we go.
Surely James Nguyen had a friend who would draw really cheap, though, right?
Again,
it's
this would entail he has a friend, Sarah. This would entail that someone was
making
with him.
assumptions.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm stupid. My mistake. My bad. Wow. I see there's people watching, but if you aren't jumping in yet, then I guess you're not gonna. We didn't. It's like I saw there were people watching the whole time and nobody's commenting, so I guess they were just here for the trash talking. You don't have
They
to
were
play.
here
It's
from the
fine.
kindness of their heart, and we appreciate them.
Yeah, I am genuinely curious if y'all made it this far into the live stream, be it now or be it later. Do please comment and let me know. Because I'm going to share it with the world if you do say yes to this. Did this video in any way make you want to watch Birdemic: Shock and
it
Terror?
should. It's like when your friend takes a sip of something and goes, "Oh my god, try this."
Exactly. Yes.
And there's a Rift Tracks version out there to pad
Yeah,
your
to
fault.
soften the blow.
Which
Yeah.
we really probably should have watched.
Yeah. Yeah, to see now, Mark, you're back on the shit list for not telling us there was a riff track.
You know what? It completely slipped my mind.
I feel like I mentioned it in passing, but maybe I didn't. That could be
I
me.
remember you saying
yeah.
something
Also, I don't
random,
like riff
so-
tracks. They're terrible.
And
so
yeah,
might
I would
put
have
them out.
probably I would have read it, and then it would have immediately out of my brain, because I'm just gonna I'm gonna remember the name of the movie because I have to for the show. But like after that, yeah, it's really spotty what actually sticks in my brain hole. So
Fair. All right, well, let's start the quiz. And a couple of them do have more than one answer possible. I tried not to make them too hard, but we'll see how it goes.
Don't warn us. Just throw us right in the deep end.
Is this timed? Like, how does this work?
Yep.
Yeah, the faster you answer correctly, the more points you get.
Oh, okay. Oh, son of a... Okay, y'all are quick draw McGraw on this. All right.
Yeah.
yeah, it matters how
Brian's
fast you do
notorious.
this too. Yeah,
Fair.
that
Answer
one was
four
the easy questions right in a
four
row, right at the beginning. There.
milliseconds after Sarah. Hangers.
No, literally every answer there would be better than the correct one.
Okay.
Oh, shit. What? So, note to self, never let Amanda write the quiz again.
I'm loving it.
See, the problem is that I can't, like, I can go ahead and make that joke, but then it's like, I'm still screwing myself, because if I have to write the quiz, I can't play it. That's not fair.
Oh, son of a... What, are you
I
clicking?
lucked out that creepy was at the top of my
What's
list,
going
so
on?
that was easy.
Yeah.
There were no wrong answers there.
Wow, I was in the lead the first question, and now I'm just... Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, I messed this up. All right. I was too concerned with being quick that I wasn't right. Ah, goodness. Yeah, the room is not an inspiration. Good lord. All right.
No failed.
Oh, to be fair, none of us got that one right, it
Okay.
looks like,
Oh, and I
so...
knew
The
that.
room just makes
Should've.
too
If I
much
wasn't so
sense.
concerned with being fast, I probably would have gotten that. All right.
I've done that.
What the fuck? What the... What? What is this question?
I think it's the question we all asked repeatedly
mean-
as we watched them explode.
Yeah, but, like... Was it Alka-Seltzer? Because, like, why did the birds explode? There was no fuck... Like, they... At no point did they explain why the birds just exploded randomly. At least they tried to explain some of the other stuff, kind of, a little bit. The exploding birds, nothing. And the acidic vomit, the xenomorph... Yeah,
Yeah.
that... Oh shit. Oh shit. I think maybe I got it right. Oh, I did. Cool. You're seeing the answers up here faster than the phone is showing me the answers.
Okay.
That's fun.
Huh.
Oh, it's catching up.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
All right, let's see.
Oh fuck. That was a trick one.
That
You-
was a trick one.
You
Very
dickhead.
nice. Huh? That gives you the lead.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that took me
Who
a
wanted
second.
to hear more about stock options in this movie?
Jesus.
Yay!
Well done, Mark.
I am horrified that I won this. This actually brings me no personal or no sense of personal accomplishment or joy. It says first place.
You
outstanding.
do get this banger sticker now, though.
Oh, word? Okay.
Yeah, you get the bird sticker.
Where do I get that? What do I do with it? I mean, I'll
This
have
is-
to put it on my laptop.
I make the stickers. I make the stickers myself. So I will. So I print them all out on the. I have a fixed sticker sheet size. So when I get a full sheet of stickers, I'll print them all off and then I'll mail them to everybody. So you're probably not gonna get your sticker for a good month or two, but
No worries.
you will get your sticker.
Oh,
You
send
earned that
us some
sticker.
produce cats, too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely send some produce cats.
Produce?
I will be swimming in produce cats pretty soon. So if they ever fucking come, I ordered them, but like, where are they?
Sarah designed a series of cats that are vegetables and fruits, and
Dig
they
it.
are terribly adorable.
I dig it. I dig it.
Okay, that was a movie, and that was a quiz, and that was a talk.
That was a good quiz.
It was a good quiz. It was. Except for that Victoria's Secret trick shit.
Oh,
that was
that
bullshit.
got
That
me.
was dirty.
No, that's a good
And
quiz.
that
felt
was kudos to Mark because you took the time to read the whole damn thing instead of just clicking, which is what I did.
I learned my
Uh-huh.
lesson from the question with the room because again, I think I would have been 10 out of 10 if I had just read that. So
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Well, everybody go check out Scared Stiff down there. See the little linky dink down the bottom there. And when is that happening again?
it's opening October 23rd. 23rd. So it's the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, and then the 30th, 31st, and the 1st of November. So we're looking at the last 2 weekends of October. So if you are in the Bay Area, are a fan of theater, horror, Asian people, or all three, please come to Bindle Stiff Studio and come check it out. There's some really cool stuff we're doing.
But if you are a fan of Asian people, don't say that out loud. That just sounds weird.
Well,
Unless, I guess if you're Asian people, maybe it's okay, but like I'm like, I am so white. If I say I'm a fan of Asian people, that sounds creepy, right? That sounds like a fetish.
I'd give you a hug, personally. I mean, look, Demon Hunters being as big as it is now, I'm like, yes! Yes, and I'm not even Korean, you know? I'll take anything.
Well, it was like, I have friends who are Asian.
Exactly.
No, was that not the whitest thing you ever heard?
Anyway,
what was I gonna say? Oh, is there any kind of online showing for this? Because I am not coming to California. I could not afford that in a million years, even if I slept on Brian and Amanda's couch.
Well, also, if you come to California, Birdemic might happen. The show will be recorded, and once that is available, I'm happy to throw you a copy. I think it's going to be real.
Absolutely, I would love to see.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's gonna be better than Birdemic, then I want to watch it.
100% not, but it's going to at least have a little more sense to it. I will say that if you are a fan of like Jordan Peele and his sense of horror, where it's horror with a little more thought. This is not going to be a haunted house kind of show for anybody who might be thinking of going. It is literally, hey, here are things that scare myself and the other three writers, and we're going to talk about it, and hopefully it's in a way that you're going to go, oh, they've put some thought into this, and it did not take 4 years for them to do.
We've never done a critical affection on the work of a friend for good reason. But if any of you ever want to submit your stuff to be torn apart on this show, because you heard how nasty we were to Birdemic, and we've never not been nasty at all. I think that
we've always had good things to say too.
Yes, that is true. We've always say something good because there's always a redeeming quality. Like even
Gurren Lagann.
Yes,
we
especially Gurren Lagann.
What's that? Oh my god, am I opening something that I shouldn't?
It's an anime.
It's a very popular one.
Yeah, from the early 2000s, was it? It's extremely flawed, but it is not like you don't have to throw it away. But like, if I could get past the halfway point on that thing, maybe it would get good. I don't know. I did promise Todd that I would try to get through it all, and maybe I will sometime. But I'm extremely busy right now for some inexplicable reason. I have too much stuff to do and not enough time, and that happened very suddenly. But I'll get to it. I always get to these things. I might be 80 when I do it, but I will get to it, I promise.
Excellent.
And in the meantime, next week, we are doing Can't Hardly Wait. But I forget who the guest is, so I am looking it up, and I am distracting you all with some very poor attempts to be distracting.
Mark, what's your thought on Can't Hardly Wait?
I love that movie so much.
I just want you to know, I put in for October 6th, I put Birdemic, and then I put Amanda's friend Mark as the guest.
Thank you.
That's all I knew about you, was that your name was Mark.
And hopefully she spelled it right with the C, because, Mark,
I did! I spelled it right, that's because Amanda spelled it right.
So, really quick fun fact, because it is geek related. My name is Mark with the C, not because I was named after Mark Antony or named after any historical figure. I was named Mark with the C because my parents loved the movie The Beastmaster in the 80s.
Nice.
And I was named after Mark Singer, the actor who portrayed.
Deep cut, I love it.
I was a nerd from the womb.
That's a better name story than mine.
Did you, McLaughlin? What did you get?
No, worse. That would have been better, probably. You guys tell me. My mom is super religious, and she named me after Abraham's wife in the Bible. So.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's why I'm Sarah with an H.
Well,
but I don't know. Is that better or worse than Sarah McLaughlin? I mean, Sarah from the Bible is a pretty cool character if you ever read the stories, but she doesn't really do much besides be Abraham's wife.
Yeah, that part.
As they do, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say maybe for conversations, just tell people you were named after the Triceratops from Land Before Time.
There we go.
That would be really cool, but then I'd have to change the spelling of my name.
Oh, that's
I
right.
would love to change the spelling of my name. Yeah. To that.
Mhm.
That would be way cooler. And she was a sassy little thing too, wasn't she? I love her. Sassy little spoiled brat kid. Oh, loved her. Okay, so Ben Hunting is our guest, and he's going to talk about his project, which, again, I don't remember. I need to write this stuff down along with all the other information, and then I would actually know it. But he's going to talk about his new project. We're going to look at his new project. Then we're going to talk about Can't Hardly Wait and why it's correlating in any way to his new project. And, I don't know. I think I've seen this movie before, but I don't remember. So it's going to be interesting. And I've heard wildly differing opinions on Can't Hardly Wait. So yeah, kind of, sort of looking forward to it. But after Birdemic, slightly more apprehensive than I would have been than before. So take that for what it's worth. Otherwise, do you guys have any news that you gotta share? Go check out Scared Stiff. Do that. We already said that. I think we're all set then, right? Right? Mm-hmm. We're good. So let me get to the right screen here, and then you all have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, wherever the hell you are. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.